Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Harper. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The Niners at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And Lance will try again on 2nd down. That's Samuel, caught left side. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. Harper. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. An inside give to Jones. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down. This defense for the Niners, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
In today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get 17 to 20, so that's a reasonable goal. But when you hold a team under 100 yards of total offense, you're going to win 99 times out of 100. And the one game you lose, you'll know who to blame.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. This is taken at about the 14. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lance. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. 1st down, here's Mitchell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he's going to have a Niners 1st down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Lance looking to throw it. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got a more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Lance on the option left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And I do believe that sometimes as a defender, when you see read option, you're just making an educated guess because the offense feels like no matter what move you make, it turns out right for them. Sometimes it can burn you making that guess, but I think here he said, I'm pursuing the quarterback no matter what he does. And this time, he picked the right option.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Lance now on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Lance. And he rifles one incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And the slot man goes in motion left. On 3rd and long, it's Lance. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And all the way down inside the 5 with a 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Lance. And he's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Lance. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the 49ers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Point after, up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out. Occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. First throw now for the backup Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Touchdown, 49ers. That, folks, is a 94-yard punt return. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers, he's going to look deep for more. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Niners are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Lance. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment.
Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Set, ready.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lance. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Here we go. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. The Lance going to throw. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. There he goes, left side. The 20. Then into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. So what a play there in the final minute of this first half. They get the interception. More importantly, their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, and that one play certainly changes the outlook, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking at going into the locker room. No points on the board. Not playing well defensively. Deflated. And now, things may have changed for them.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Ryan Suckup set to kick off.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And Lance again going to keep it. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. We'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his Lance on third down. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And some room to maneuver. And he will step out of bounds, but not before he's all the way across the 50. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 41. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out.
Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the 49ers will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Rodgers going to throw. And now here is another interception. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Chris Barnes there on the stop. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Play action. Now it's Lance. And that one into the hands of Ayuk downfield. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. Touchdown, 49ers! Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lance going to try to throw for this. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's...
There he goes, right side. Past the 20. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big run there by Jones, and even 60 yards for him on the ground. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On play action, now Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Drake Greenlaw getting home on that one. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. And this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Going for it, here's Davis Price. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
126 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Rodgers. He is going to find Hill here. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A check down here to Jones. And they'll work this down inside the 30. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're...
And it's a Packers touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They got to get to the 23 here on third. To throw, it's Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it. And now off to the races, down the right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the fourth. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Rodgers to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip, try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
This to possibly force OT. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
One final try now for Rodgers. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. It doesn't get any more exciting than that. It was all or nothing on the final snap at the goal line. And that defense, they came through with one final stand.
And I don't know about you, partner, but give me a minute here to let my heart get settled a little bit. How about that drama we just saw there? One play could have decided the whole thing. Incredible defensive play to win it. An effort there that can't be understated.
So for the 49ers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.